Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to Rose and Carter Do the JOB. Today, we're looking at the exciting world of midget wrestling. Probably not the politically correct term, but back then it was called midget wrestling, and I've watched primarily old stuff. I mean, have you done anything of more modern times?
The most recent I've done is from '97. So.
Oh, there we go. So yeah, that's still fucking 23 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, the history of midget wrestling, right? It's fucking. It said the heyday of midget wrestling was in the 50s and 60s with Little Beaver, Lord Littlebrook, one called Fuzzy Cupid that I've not seen before, and several other, big stars touring the States and Mexico. Sky Lolo won the World Midget Championship in a 30 midget battle royal in 1949.
Right.
Just the thought of having 30 fucking midgets on the same show.
Yeah.
Pretty hard for me to get my head around, but yeah, that was in 1949, and it ran until 1999. So 50 years.
You know
what I mean? I didn't even know it was a thing until the other day when I looked into it. It was always seen as a special feature, but they were featured heavily and drew quite well. WrestleMania 2, Haiti Kid was in the corner of Mr. T in the boxing match.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I remember it once I read it, but I would have forgotten that. After WrestleMania 3, the WWF stopped using them as often. They were in the big six-man tag when they were Bundy and Willie. But they were still a prominent feature of World Class, and used strongly and still drew well. But after WrestleMania 3, they were seen as more comical, because they could go, some of them fucking matches that I watched. Yeah, there was funny bits in them, but there was proper wrestling as well, It wasn't just fucking gaga. It was well-timed good shit. The Mexican Minis were a very serious part of AAA and various other Mexican promotions. The Little People of America, like some sort of fucking lefty fucking charity thing or whatever they are, criticized it for reinforcing stereotypes. Can't quite tell. In more recent times, there was 94 with the Doink and Lawler Survivor Series match. That was comical, to be fair, but still entertaining, wasn't it? WCW in 96 in lots of tags and sort of lucha style stuff, primarily the Americans. The Mexicans. WWF had Hornswoggle and that Toro dude, the little ball.
Oh yeah.
Quite recently, didn't they? 2005, the WWE introduced its juniors division. I wasn't really watching wrestling much then, so I don't really know the score. But they only lasted till March 06. There's several midget-based wrestling promotions around now. Micro Wrestling Federation, Extreme Dwarfenators Wrestling, who tried to tour England in 2018, but there was people against that, and that caused a load of shit. And I think they came for 1 or 2 in Wales or whatever, but I don't think they did the whole tour. Tiger Jackson was Dink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who also wrote Canadian Tiger Jackson. Canadian. Little Louie was in the WWF in the mid-90s, tagged with the Bushwhackers a lot. Couple of lady ones, Honey Girl and Diamond Lil were the most popular of the two. But always very exciting, I thought. A welcome break from the fucking blood and guts of the... I could see why it got over in World Class, because it was very fucking punch in the head, sort of rough territory. So it was nice to have that light-hearted sort of feel to it, wasn't it? A match now and again of something a little less brutal.
Yeah.
But the 4 that I watched were from 4 different territories.
Right, okay.
The same dude crops up a couple of times, right? But what did you have first?
My first one.
In no particular order. I haven't got dates on these because they're all just fucking. They're all 80s somewhere.
Right. Well, my first one is the only one I've not got a date with. So my next three are all in order, but I don't know where the fuck this one fits in. This one's probably the first one out of the lot, to be fair. But it's Little Brutus against Sonny Boy.
Was that in Canada?
I reckon it could have been.
I know that Little Brutus. I've got a couple of tapes of that Montreal stuff. And
Yeah,
it's Little Brutus is on those.
I think it could be because it's in French, like speaking.
There we go. Yeah.
And I think there's people talking over it, so the commentary's not live to the action. It's like they're talking about it. So they're English commentators talking about it, but the announcer and everyone's like French. So and they do mention that from Montreal. So yeah, it'd probably be Montreal. So there's only fucking one referee in these ones though from Montreal. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got a Montreal one. A Montreal tag in this. I did watch that. You know, when you said about the two referees, fucking random, isn't it?
Weird as fuck as well. It's not even like.
And they were both count. Sometimes only one got to count, and other times they both got to count. And one got down to count with his hand, and then the other fucker was like stamping his foot and not going down to count all the time. It was right confusing. I was watching the refs more than the rest of it.
Yeah, I was. Well, there's two of the fuckers, aren't there? You're trying to wonder what they're up to. Yeah. You know, like what they're doing.
Battle Royal, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
right, Sonny Boy against Little Brutus. Little Brutus.
This was actually really good. I'll just run through it. I wrote quite a bit for this one. Like
He's
a lot
of
stocky
book, that Brutus, isn't he?
Yeah. There's he is actually, and I didn't really. I don't know if I've heard of him. You know, like I think the name rings a bell, but I'm not familiar with any of them, to be honest. He's a lot older than Sonny Boy, and so a lot of the spots they do are quite I'm familiar with from a lot of like the comedy shit that we've done many years later. Like like just in general, they're quite common spots, but they're funny if they work out well and they go to plan. They're really good spots, and the crowd love them. So they start off with a tie up. Brutus gets him to the ropes, gives him a few strikes, and then fucking throws him to the ground just like a piece of shit. So Sonny Boy's up. Fucking Brutus runs into him, tackles him, fucking hits the ropes, runs in to give him another tackle, and they do the old fucking like stop and tells him to look up. So he looks up and he fucking pops him, like, you know what I mean? We all love that spot. So he does that. He gets clobbered. Then there's a headlock by Sonny, who gets shot off the ropes, comes back, same situation. Brutus fucking stops him, says look up. Brutus fucking gets clobbered again. So he's telling him to look up. So it backfires on him. So he gets clobbered twice, thinking it's gonna fucking turn it around on the other guy. But yeah, what he throws Sonny Boy out the ring, and then Sonny Boy fucking goes under the ring, sneaks up behind him. It's quite funny actually, this, because he's just been clobbered twice. So anyway, he ends up getting on top and throwing the fucking face out the ring. So as Brutus is in the ring talking shit, like, where the fuck is he? He goes under the ring, comes back the other side, and he goes up behind him and taps him on the shoulder. But he's acting. He thinks it's like the ref doing it, so he's just fucking fuck off, like you know what I mean? So, yeah, he's not acknowledging it's him. He's thinking it's the ref telling him to get back in or whatever. And then he finally turns around and gets fucking clobbered again for like the third time. Where are we now? Yeah. Oh well, he gives him a fucking overhand chop there. So then they go into a crisscross spot, and we all have a good crisscross spot. Fucking Sonny just fucking stops in the corner while Brutus carries on running, and Brutus must be fucking 20 years older than him. So Brutus is fucked, and then he fucking makes his way to another corner himself and just fucking crumbles to the mat like he's fucked. So there's a fucking they do the old fucking after they both collapse after the crisscross. Sonny's got a front face lock on, and he does like a roll, it's hard to explain, but he's got him in the front face lock, and he does kind of like a roll and ends up in a pin. Like, it's really weird to explain, but he pins. pins him and kicks out, lands on the ref, and there's a big kerfuffle with the referee getting in the way and stuff. Basically, Brutus has given him some heat, and then he gives him just a normal body slam. Gives fucking Sonny like just a normal body slam, but then he like, it's kind of hard to explain this pin. He fucking sits on his, like, if you can imagine, he's on the floor, Sonny Boy. Brutus like sits on his chest, but like not facing his face, facing like Brutus's legs, so he can like pull his tights. You know what I mean? So he's sitting on his chest as his legs are like, it's hard to explain, but yeah, he's just pulling his tights basically while sitting on his chest, and the ref counts to 3. But it was really really hilarious in places, and it was quite crisp as well. It was like, very, very enjoyable though. It wasn't just comedy, but
so they clearly know each other well then.
Yeah.
They probably would have done that fucking every territory they've been then, hadn't they? Because they couldn't they? Because they were doing different places all the time.
Yeah, but it was fun, a lot of fun, real funny stuff, and the crowd were like into everything they'd done as well. So
sweet. The first that I watched was Mid-South, and it's Ivan the Terrible and Little Tokyo versus Lone Eagle and Cowboy Lang.
Okay.
Ivan the Terrible and this Lone Eagle start. The ref's on his knees like most of the match, like fucking crawling around, which I thought was fucking random. A proper wrestling start, like, headlocks and fucking sleeps and leaps and fucking headlock takeovers and all sorts of shit. And they're quick as fuck, like they're flying, and there's no comedy shit going on at this point. It's proper wrestling. They're proving they can, like. Tag Tokyo and Lang come in, and then there's more running and fucking drop kicking and headlock takeover in. Tokyo tries to pin Lang 1-2 kick out, and he lands on the ref, and then there's the pylon. Fucking every fucker gets in, and there's 4 of them on the ref now. Here's a good one. Right, okay. So, trying to explain it. So Tokyo's got this fucking headlock on, and he's just holding the ropes. I mean, they're saying for leverage, but there isn't none, is there really? You're just holding the ropes in the headlock. But everyone thinks there is, so that's fucking fine in this situation, right? So he's proper tugging on it, and the Cowboy Lang is selling the fuck out of it. Referee's bollocking him. The referee kicks Tokyo's hand away, so then they go back to the middle of the ring, slowly make it way back again. Tokyo's pulling the rope again, and the referee goes to kick Tokyo's hand, but he moves his arm out of the way, and the ref takes a bump, which is fucking, I thought was hilarious. So there was like, fucking, it's the ref taking the wrestler's heat, which is a bit wrong, but it's fucking entertaining. Then there's heat on this Cowboy Lang dude. Slingshot backdrop, which I thought was right cool. The other villain, that Ivan the Terrible, slingshots Lang into Tokyo, and Tokyo backdrops him, which is pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Hot tag, in comes the War Eagle dude. What's his name? Lone Eagle. Doing a war dance and fucking chopping and cartwheeling and all sorts of shit. He's flying now. He's getting heat on the Tokyo fella, the baby faces. Ivan and Tokyo fucking kind of roll the referee. Like, Ivan and Tokyo are kind of rolling, sort of grappling each other, rolling around backwards and forwards. The ref sort of jumps over them at one point. When they come back the other way, they take the ref with them, and then there's another fucking pylon. Like, everyone jumps in on that fucker. Then they go back to wrestling, nice little wrestling holds and shit. And then the finish, the slingshot thing into the backdrop like they did before, but this time the babyface does a sunset flip, and fucking, it was really good, really fucking good. Probably the best one I watched out of the 4.
How was it?
Yeah, tops. What you got now?
My next one is All-Star Championship Wrestling from Staten Island. and it's the Haiti Kid against the Prankster. I don't know if you know the Prankster at all. It's
No.
like it's a very like indie type show, but there's still a few
Right.
in.
That Haiti kid,
Yeah,
he was on Piper's Pit once.
yeah,
But there was a match going on, and then Roddy Piper came to the ring on the WWF and took him away, and took him to. He was just about to wrestle or something to do boxing Mr. T at
right,
WrestleMania 2. I think that was why he was in the corner.
yeah,
And oddly, I only watched it the other day. He Bob Orton had him, and he cut his hair and all that sort of shit to
yeah.
make him
Maybe
look like Mr. T.
to see. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So this one's got the Haiti Kid who comes out to a fucking massive pop. Like the crowd know exactly who he is when he comes out, loving him. Yeah, against the prankster who's like got the fucking like a Joker type face paint on, like gimmick. Um, I think it does say the year, but I can't remember what year it was. Might have been like mid 80s sometime because it was before my third match, which was 91. So it was before that. Anyway, yeah. The prankster offers a handshake at the start. It was actually this match was really good, but it wasn't as crisp as the first match. It was still as funny, hilarious, like, but it was just you could tell they probably weren't really familiar with each other. I don't think, from judging by some of the stuff. But anyway, so prankster offers out his hand, um, and then he ends up slapping the Haiti Kid in the face. Then he fucking holds his head, while Haiti Kid's trying to fucking do punch him and stuff as he's holding him at distance, kind of thing. And then as he's doing it, it's quite funny. It's quite a funny spot because so he's fucking got the Haiti Kid by his head. He's swinging the fucking punches, can't reach him, and as he's got him by the head with one hand, he's fucking pointing at him and taking the piss out of him with his like other hand. But as he's doing it, the Haiti Kid just fucking bites his finger. So he's like literally like just pulls his finger towards him and just fucking starts biting his finger, which was pretty funny. Where are we? Hold. Yeah. Then the Haiti Kid's on all four, and then the fucking like on all fours, and then the prankster like pushes the referee over, so the referee takes a fucking bump here. There's a lot of grappling on the floor. I think at this point they're a bit unsure of what the fuck is meant to be going on, but there's a lot of wrestling around. There is a funny spot where the Haiti Kid's got a hammerlock on, and as he got him in the hammerlock, you can imagine you got him in the hammerlock, and he keeps fucking putting his foot through his legs. You know what I mean? So just like put through his legs.
Gonna grab it.
Yeah, he keeps trying to grab it and stuff, which is the crowd were eating into it and that the crowd were loving it. And then after that he spins him round from the hammerlock, pops him, fucking nails him. A lot of all of his stuff's like on the right, like the Haiti Kid, it's all like right arm. He does like headlock takedowns, everything's on his right, like literally right arm everywhere, which was just doing like running spots off the ropes looked really fucking weird to me, like because they were certain like just out of line, like proper like weird. But
like they're left-handed, isn't it?
yeah, it is, yeah.
Because it must be hard to be left-handed because you've got to naturally lead that way. Like if you hit the ropes, you grab it with your right hand.
But yeah.
But if you do it left-handed, you've got a natural instinct to go left-handed, isn't it?
No, it's weird. Yeah. Anyway, they go into a knuckle lock. On the ropes, fucking Haiti Kid gives him a kick, fucking whips him off the rope, drop kicks him, goes for a few covers, kick out. The ref fucking catches him, and then drops him. Literally, like he kicks out. The referee catches the Haiti Kid, and then like fucking the ref catches him, and then like throws him on the floor, and then Haiti Kid just gets up and fucking kicks the referee in the shins. It's like Haiti Kid's in control basically the most of the match, like literally. And they do the fucking these midgets love the crisscross spot, don't they? They're doing the crisscross spot. Haiti Kid sleeps. Fucking they do the whole stop. Fucking look up. Gives them a drop kick. Boom. They go into another crisscross spot. The prankster says stop. Fucking he tells him to look down. Fucking Haiti Kid just fucking drops him, like drop kicks him there. Same situation as before, really, where like backfires on the face. Like there's more grappling around, like a lot of fucking Olympic style wrestling between the two of them now. There's a power slam by the prankster who gets a 2 count, aeroplane spin by the fucking by the Haiti Kid. Both are dazed, but I think the Haiti Kid's actually playing possum because, like, as the fucking the other one is like the prankster's all fucking dazed. Haiti Kid just runs at him and nails him with like a flying fucking clothesline, and that's the finish of the match. And even the commentator announced like said win via the aeroplane spin, and he failed to mention the massive fucking clothesline that he just
Like,
took his head off.
that don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter. Sweet.
So, I put it was funny. It was a funny match. Not as crisp as the first one, but I still enjoyed it. So that was all right.
My next one's Montreal as well. Tiger Jackson, before he was Dunk, and Sky Lolo,
Dink,
the first world midget champion, versus our friend the Little Brutus, and Puncho Boy. It's already started, the match has.
Right.
Joined in progress kind of thing. So it wasn't a great deal of length to it, but it kind of picks the best bits out. Like, starts with a crisscross, look up, all that fucking humding. Brutus in the eyes on Sky Lolo to cut him off. This is fucking funny, right? Sky Lolo gets punched, yeah, and he's going to the referee. He's punched me, right? And he says, "What do you mean?" The ref goes, "What do you mean?" He said, "He punched me." He says, "Look," and he pulls his head and he goes, "Boof!" to the fucking referee. He like headlocks the referee and punches him in the head. It's fucking brilliant. Some sort of pin attempt, 1-2 onto the ref. All 4 in pylon. Must be a tag thing because they've done it in the 2 tags now. Tiger and Puncho Boy do lots of running and sleeping and leaping and drop kicking. There was Tiger gets thrown into the ropes. Brutus charges him. Up goes Tiger Jackson with one of them, like a sunset flip, but he goes up first and sort of sits on the back. It's probably got a name, but I don't know what it is. And Tiger and Lolo win. And not a lot, like I said, not a lot to it, but it was fucking. It's the things we've seen before with the addition of the punch to the head, but it was all very good. It's funny every time, I think. Let's be fair, but that punch to the fucking head thing is brilliant.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have that. Bosh.
Right. My next one was literally I was watching it as I was eating dinner, and I had to stop eating because I was pissing myself that much. Like I had literally tears coming out my eyes from watching it. It was that funny. I would actually say it's probably my favorite midget match I've ever watched. It was fucking brilliant, and it was like nothing looked or like uncoordinated. It was all pretty crisp, and every spot they done was just well timed and well fucking just perfect. But it was from WWF 91, Little Louie against Tiger Jackson.
Yeah, they were friends then because they did a lot of indies together.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this would have just
Little Louie in his dungarees.
Oh, actually, this might have been this was 93. Actually, 93. I remember now. The match just before the one I've just done was from 91. So this was from, because I know there was one from 91, one from 93, and then one from 97. So yeah, this was 90. I wrote 91, but no, this was 93. So just before he became Dink then.
They were doing shitload of indies together,
Right.
and they were doing the Bushwhackers and Tiger Jackson against Louis and the Beverly Brothers,
Right. Yeah. Because
which one
in
I've got
this,
the tapes I've got.
well, this match, the Beverly Brothers and the Bushwhackers are at ringside with them.
Oh, bosh, there we go.
So yeah, that makes
Makes
sense.
sense.
It's fucking hilarious. I'll run through it, but like, so just at the start, Tiger, just the fucking vision of Tiger Jackson running around the ring, like before they even do anything, is just fucking like gyrating his hips like fucking Rick Rude or something. Like it's just like it's just hilarious, just the way he fucking doing it. But so they tie up. Fucking Louis gets Tiger Jackson to the ropes and gives him like just a little shove. So it is like a clean break, but just like a fucking little shove to the chest, nothing much. And then they'll tie up again. This time Jackson gets him to the ropes, and Jackson like same situation, but he gives him like a little shove, just like he gave him. Then like a couple of shoves to the side of his ribs, and then he just fucking pops him in the mouth, like just like out of nowhere. And then he just starts gyrating his hips again, like fucking. You got to see it to believe it. It's fucking hilarious. Um, Oh yeah, this is a fucking right. You've probably seen this like before, but I hadn't seen this exact spot. So they tie up and Jackson puts him in an armbar, and you know the spot where you put him in an armbar and the ref's kind of behind you, so he doesn't see you biting his finger.
Yeah.
You know, so he does that. So Jackson's got him in the armbar. As his fingers are coming through, he's biting his fingers, but because he's like it's hard to explain, but because Louis kind of behind him, like Louis bites him on the ass, so he's biting Louis in the fingers. He's fucking biting Jackson on the ass. Jackson fucking runs to the turnbuckle and starts rubbing his ass on the turnbuckle to like fucking like, you know what I mean? To like fucking just like massage it or something. Fucking hilarious. But they do that twice. So they do it twice. He puts him in the armbar again, bites his fingers again. Fucking Louis bites his ass again, and again, fucking Jackson runs to the corner, fucking middle turnbuckle, starts rubbing his ass on it, and then fucking he's telling the ref like bit his ass. The bushwhackers are outside complaining to him, like the referee, saying he's fucking, biting his ass, whatever, whatever. And then as the referee goes to the fucking talk to the bushwhackers, talking like through the fucking top and middle rope, like saying to the bushwhackers to fucking mind your business. Tiger Jackson goes up to the ref and then bites him on his ass. So like to fucking, just to like, basically that's what they were doing to him kind of situation. It was fucking hilarious. Then once Jackson bites the ref on the ass, the ref starts chasing him around the ring. Fucking Jackson's running away from the ref, jumps out the ring, jumps fucking, and the bushwhackers catch him, like, and then they're just all outside, all three together, kind of thing. I was fucking pissed, but the crowd are loving it. The crowd are fucking buying it all. Then they do the old fucking where are we? So there's a point, there's a pin by Jackson, kick out, the ref catches him and puts him back. So it's like that fucking up and down thing that him throws him back on.
Yeah, I've seen that quite a few times. Put him on a few times and back off and back on again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is another fucking comical spot. So fucking Jackson's got him in a front face lock. Like he's got Louis in a front face lock. Obviously the ref's checking on him. So fucking Jackson's got him in the front face lock. The ref's coming to check fucking Louis. As the ref's head's down, Jackson fucking releases one of his hands and slaps the ref on the back of the head, then releases the hold. So as he does it, the referee's getting up thinking it's fucking Louis that slapped him around the head because he was that side of him. And then anyway, they go into the front face lock again, exactly the same situation. He's got him in, and he's like literally ref's fucking asking Louis if he's all right. He's all right. Then again, Jackson releases his hand and fucking clouts him right around the back of the head. And the fucking referee's still blaming Louis. Yeah, on the third time he catches him actually doing it. He actually catches him and he's fucking like in midair like that, about to smack the ref. He's like, fucking, I ain't doing nothing. Doing nothing. I think the Beverly Brothers are all kicking up a stink here. So the fucking referee's on them. And then as the referee's on the Beverly Brothers, Butch fucking runs in the ring, picks up Tiger Jackson and fucking launches him on Louis for the crossbody. Butch jumps out the ring. The referee turns around and it's a 3 count. 1, 2, 3, boom. But fucking brilliant. absolutely fantastic. To be honest, it was like you'll have to watch that match. You'll
It
fucking
sounds
enjoy.
good, to be fair. Yeah, I'll have a look. I'll look in. I'll look at that prankster one as well because that sounds all right.
Yeah. Mm.
Right, Portland next for a six-man tag.
Right.
Buddy Rose, a very young Buddy Rose because he's slim and in a singlet, which I've never seen him in a singlet before either. Tokyo Joe and
Okay.
Lord Littlebrook is what he's advertised on the, like when you can see what it says on fucking, go to the information on YouTube. It says Lord Littlebrook, but the
Right.
commentators say Billy the Kid, and it's not Lord Littlebrook. It's not fucking, the dude with the beard and the hair and that. So it's
Yeah.
Billy the Kid, not Lord Littlebrook, like it advertises,
Yeah.
versus Cowboy Lang and Lone Eagle on the midget side, and Jonathan Boyd, who was also one of the bushwhackers, oddly, well, sheep herders, for the big person. Again, it's joined in progress, and there's some heat going on, like right off, as it starts. Buddy on his knees backdrops one of the midgets. There's a hot tag to Cowboy Lang. Massive fucking like atomic drop on Tokyo Joe. And it was brilliant, right? Because just as he hit the knee, Tokyo Joe like vertically leaped. It was like fucking boing. It was perfectly timed, and fucking Tokyo Joe must have been 6 foot in the air. Like, it was brilliant. Then there's a tag to the bigger folks. So this is great. Buddy has one of the midgets on his shoulder. Jonathan Boyd has a midget on his shoulder, and they're fucking battering each other up there. Another midget comes through Jonathan Boyd's legs and fucking punches Buddy in the bollocks, which I thought was mint. And then, and then the bigger boys are like, "Fuck that, we'll have a go." So fucking what's his name, Cowboy Lang, who's a pretty big, for a midget, he's fucking, well put together and relatively tall, to be fair. He's got Jonathan Boyd on his shoulders. Now fucking Buddy Rose is trying to get on fucking Tokyo Joe's shoulders. It's fucking
Right.
brilliant. Don't get there in the end. Tag to the Eagle dude, who comes in and bites Buddy Rose's ass. Buddy misses a splash at some point after a cut off on the War Eagle dude. Boyd helps the midgets to a drop kick. He picks both of them up, and, like, they all drop kick everybody. Bish bash
Right.
bosh. And that's the pin. That's the win, is the midget drop kick. But it was very good. And good use of the the big dudes with the little dudes. Proper put the midgets over well, and they output the big people over well. Do you know what I mean? It's right good.
Great. Well, my final one is from WWF, the latest one, 97, 15th of November. It was the night after Montreal, on Raw, and it was Max Mini against Battalion, and I fucking love Max
Battalion's
Mini.
massive, isn't he?
Yeah, I was gonna say that he's he's like twice the size of Max Mini. He's still he's small in height, but fucking right built.
Wasn't Max Mini the smallest ever wrestling midget?
That's what they build him as, the world's smallest athlete anyway. So, but yeah,
particularly small.
Yeah, I've not wrote a whole lot for it because there's not a fucking whole lot to say. You know what Max Mini's like? He fucking flies around like fucking anything. And there's a massive size difference. It's all flying from Max Mini's doing the head scissors, this, that, the fucking over the top. It's literally like too fucking much to write down, to be fair. And then he gets cut off, and then there's just a heat with a lot of just a lot of like flying like hope spots here and there, including a fucking beautiful acai moonsault from Max Mini to the outside, like the best fucking most perfect crisp one I think I've ever fucking seen. And then that's basically it. Then the finish comes off he comes off the top, Max Mini, And now, as he comes off the top, Battalion catches his legs, so he's almost to set him up for like a. It's hard to explain. I think he fucking comes off. He's got his legs around him like a wheelbarrow now. So like Max Mini comes off, and he sometimes has his legs somehow wrapped around his waist. He picks him up, but then he just he like rolls through and goes into like a
Right,
fucking you know what I mean,
victory roll kind of thing.
that kind of thing. Yeah, and that was a finish. And at the end, a whole bunch of midgets run in and start battering Max Mini, fucking Tarantula and others, and then a few other midgets come in to help Max Mini, like Nova and a few other. I think they're setting up a fucking 8 midget match or something, 8 man, whatever. But yeah, that's how the whole fiasco ended. But yeah, it was okay. This match, it was just nothing like looked awkward. It was all crisp and everything. But Max Mini's fucking brilliant as a so entertaining. And
I love all that lucha shit anyway, you know.
yeah,
I'm a massive fan of the masked arm dragger.
yeah,
Love it, mate. Right, my last one's Memphis. Tiny Tom versus the Lone Eagle once again. He obviously a regular face in the midget world. Right, okay, Bosh. The fucking really odd. The comment this Tiny Tom dude, who's another relatively tall, well put together dude. The commentators, Lance Russell and Dave Brown, are saying how much he looks like Bobby Eaton, which at this time he did actually, he had the same hair and sort of facial features. So it was like a small Bobby Eaton, this Tiny Tom. Backdrop on the Chief Lone Eagle. Shitload of chops and cartwheels and shit like the Eagle did before. Chop, pin, kick out, ref catches, puts back on. Tom with a fucking hell of a monkey flip, right good. Eye up in the air, but it was off the test of strength. So it was like test of strength, out up for the monkey flip and out on, and sort of floated over for the sort of pinning combination. That was pretty cool. This is great as well. So Tiny Tom's bitching at the referee. Fucking counts too slow, and he gets down and shows him, this is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, like really quick. And then all of a sudden, fucking Tiny Tom gets rolled up. The referee counts quick, and he's like, no, you got it all fucking wrong. So that was pretty cool. There's a slam on Eagle and a quick count. Yeah, we've done that bit. Quick count. Tom bitches again. Fucking great drop kick by Tom, like right on the fucking ooter of this Lone Eagle dude. Tom sleeps. Eagle hooks his arm, so Tom's lying down. Eagle hooks his arm with his feet and sort of rolls him round. Nice little pin. And that was that. It was only like a last minute, fucking 4 minutes at the end of Memphis TV. But all in all, I very much enjoyed a look at the midget world. My first match was the best. That fucking Ivan the Terrible and Little Tokyo versus Chief Lone Eagle and Cowboy Lang was fucking brilliant from Mid-South.
yeah. My best one was the Tiger Jackson one. Fucking, you'll have to watch that. I mean, I was fucking into it. So funny. Tiger Jackson and was it Louis?
Louis, yeah.
It was something special, that fucker. I've met a lot of stuff I hadn't seen before, and I was just like, this is brilliant. And I always think I always like shows that's got a midget match on, just to like make it a bit different and stuff, And I'd fucking have them on my shows if I knew any. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least like not a regular thing, but like an attraction, like every now and again.
Isn't it? It really is. It's an attraction like a battle royal is, or a fucking gimmick match. And I know that's probably frowned upon to say that in these, in this day and age, but they're gonna be somebody that are looked at, aren't they? They're gonna be seen as different.
Yeah.
For intents and purposes, they are, aren't they? But that's not fucking knocking them, because that fucking every one of those matches was fucking top of the range shit. You know what I mean? They're athletes. There's no doubt about it. They're all in shape. They're all fucking know the job better than we ever will.
And fucking,
fucking yeah, it's it's hard not to offend people by saying they're an attraction.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, it's weird because they know as well themselves when they're performing that
Yeah,
they'll know themselves they're there. You know, like the crowd as well know that they're a special attraction. They're gonna look forward if they know that they're on the show. You know, they can draw more people to that show because people want to
yeah.
see them. You
I
know, they
don't
are.
think that, like, even back then when there was no political correctness and shit, nobody was watching them derogatory. You know, nobody was frowning upon them or thinking they were fucking second class citizens because they weren't fucking 6'2". You
Yeah,
know, they were watched and respected for the fucking great performers that they were. And if anything, they probably got more respect because they watched them with a little less kayfabe because they knew it was comedy. You know,
yeah,
so kind of they're the kind of people that they'll shake hands with and go, "That was fucking brilliant. That was fucking right funny." You know, hats off to you. You know, not in the same way as they would the villains going "fuck you." Do you know what I mean? Do you know, it's hard to put into words, but yeah, that's fucking loved it. Really good, enjoyed.
yeah.
Um, it's your week for territory / genre week, isn't it? Next week.
Mhm.
Have you thought of one or
I have. Yeah. Would you like me to
one?
announce it? Well, I'm gonna go with one that I fucking love. I know that it's. I don't think it's like one of your favorites, but every fucker's been there, so I know that you'll find something that you enjoy from there. But I'm gonna go with Portland.
Oh, I don't
So
mind some Portland. Yeah,
yeah,
Portland's all right. I don't mind that at all.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
it.
it's not
And
it's not like fucking high on the list, but it's certainly watchable.
oh yeah, I mean,
And like
I
I said,
really
everyone's
enjoy
been
it.
there.
Eh?
Every fucker's been there. You know, it
They have,
makes
haven't
stars
they?
out of a lot of people. You know, yeah,
Yeah,
Richard Sheepbirders, fucking Rick Martel, Piper,
they've all fucking gone through
Raven,
Portland.
fucking Buddy Rose, all fucking like they'd all done stuff before, but they sort of became stars there, didn't they? You know? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's all right. We got a right fucking super heavyweight long weekend with Friday being natural disasters and Monday being one man gang. That's some fucking
oh
that's a heavyweight weekend, long
yeah,
heavyweight long weekend. So yeah,
yeah.
cool. Friday for earthquake and typhoon. Quite a contrast to the midgets.
Well, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see everyone then.